Hi everyone, my name is Mary Beth. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to ask the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, what is blocking twin flame union at this time? What is absolutely blocking? So we're going to do that today. We're going to use the Psychic Tarot deck for the Divine Masculine. We're going to use the Twin Flame Journey Tarot for the Divine Feminine. Okay, please feel free to switch roles if you identify more so with the other side, or take for both messages as well for both sides, because we are all both the divine masculine and the divine feminine, as we're coming into union within ourselves as the divine masculine and the divine feminine, of course, again within ourselves. Okay, also, if you're interested in my course or if you're interested in any readings, you can either email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com, or you can check out my Etsy shop below, and I have a description of everything that you want to know. Also, I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate all of you. And to any new subscribers, if you're interested in a free reading, I'm offering 10-minute free readings to all of my new subscribers as a thank you. And you can email me at twinflamealchemisttarot@gmail.com with your one question. Okay, and I will email that to you via private video. Okay, let's begin. So let's see. Let's see what's blocking twin flame union at this time for the divine masculine side. What is blocking twin flame union at this time? Can I have two cards, please? What is blocking twin flame union right now? All right, so we're going to get some energy updates here. Energy update. What's blocking for the DM? What's blocking? That's very interesting. So we have Two of Cups reversed, and we have Seven of Wands upright. That's very interesting. So standing your ground. Whew. So for the divine masculine, I almost feel like it's like the divine masculine is standing their ground on not getting in union. It's almost like what's blocking is that they are standing their ground. Like it's almost like they're right and they're not going to budge. Okay. And whatever this ground that you're standing on, that you're like not budging on, well, it's blocking union, all right, because that's why this is reversed. It's blocking, but let's get more information. What is this about? Can I have more on this, please? What are they standing their ground on, and how is this blocking? How is this blocking union? Like what is their ground? What are they standing their ground about? What does this have to do with for the divine masculine? What does this have to do with? What are they standing their ground on? One card. We got the Tower card. That's interesting. So there's some kind of disruption going on. Okay, and it's almost like instead of allowing this to fall, it's like they're standing their ground. It's so interesting what they're telling me. So it's almost like there's this shakeup going on, and they're asking you to let the old self die. Allow the old ways of doing things, the old ways of thinking fall away. Let it die. Let that subconscious programming just let that mind disperse. Let it go. And I know there's a lot of suffering involved in that. Trust me, I know, because I went through it. It's kind of like a dark night of the soul, where you're allowing the old part of you to die, but it's almost like the divine masculine is kind of standing their ground, and they're just kind of like not allowing it to happen. They're just kind of like maybe just delaying it because they feel like, no, I don't want change. I'm not allowing this to happen. Okay. And so it's like a disruption in their life. And it's very hard, and they want to control things is what I'm getting. They want to control everything, and they're not ready to allow this part of them to die away, to fall away. That's very interesting. Let's get some more on this. Can I get another card on this, please? What does this have to do? Why is the Tower card here, the Two of Cups reversed, and Seven of Wands here? Why? What is this about? Why is this here? One card, please. One card. What does this have to do with for the divine masculine? What is going on? Obedience, very interesting. Obedience, but see the blindfold? It's like they're blindly, yeah, she's got a blindfold on. It's like she's blindly following like what she's always done. It's almost like instead of, yeah, it's like she's obeying the programming, whatever that means to you. So the programming, that could be about relationships, that could be about what's going on in the news, or whatever it is that you feel like your life is trying to, well, that you feel like your soul is trying to get you to fall away or trying to change. It's like you're blindly following another path. um, Or for some of you, you are obeying your soul, and it's like you don't know where it's taking you, this road. So this road is like a path that it's like, oh my gosh, hardly anyone has been down this road. Hardly anyone has even taken this path. And so I feel like I'm the pioneer here, so I don't know what's happening, but you're blindly being obedient to what your soul wants you. So either one. So it could be either one. So let's get more on this. So this is a collective reading, so whatever resonates with you. So, okay, why is this here? Why is obedience here? What does this have to do with the divine masculine, please? What does this have to do with, please, for the divine masculine? The moon. Yeah, so the moon, we get this card so many times. So the moon, of course, is all about the illusions. So some of you are being obedient to the illusions, unfortunately. Yeah. So the matrix. So the matrix, of course, is made up of the holograms, the illusions, right? It's all about what seems real, right? And it's like obeying of the old ways of doing things, like that, the ways that we were programmed to think and act and look and say. It's like we're standing our ground on that. So this is blocking twin flame union, right? Because you got to let that fall away. You got to allow the tower to come in and wipe this away. Okay, so that is what awakening is. It's literally breaking down the mind. Okay, and it is letting a part of you die. It really is, and that's why it hurts. That's why it's painful. But this is what awakening is. This is what waking up is. Okay, so let's get the divine feminine side. Okay, let's get the divine feminine side. So what is challenging the divine feminine, please? I'm sorry, not challenging. What is blocking twin flame union on the divine feminine side, I should say? What is blocking twin flame union on the divine feminine side? Two cards. What is blocking? Oop, just do that. What is blocking? All right, so we have Five of Pentacles reversed, and we have Two of Wands upright. So planning and decisions. Okay, so what is blocking twin flame union? Okay, so getting out of feeling isolated and alone. But I need more on this. So it's almost like the divine feminine is planning. Okay, so what are they telling me here? Isolated. Okay. So it's almost like they are planning on, it's almost like not what the soul wants them to do, but they're coming up with ways. It's almost like distractions is what I'm getting, to like not feel so isolated. But unfortunately, you have to focus on feeling isolated. Like you're being asked to focus on this. Why are you being asked to focus on being isolated? Well, because that's where the knowledge is. That's where you break down. And again, it's a mirror. You both have to break down this old self, old programming, the mind. Okay. And so if you're distracting yourself, if you're making other plans and you're making other decisions and you're avoiding feeling into your feelings of feeling isolated and alone, Okay, if you're doing it in such a way where you're like, oh yeah, my life is fine, and I'm just gonna do what I want to do. Oh, and I'm just loving life, and I'm really feeling positive. That's great, but it's not very self. It's 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 not going to last. Okay, it's not sustainable. Okay, that's not sustainable. Because it's almost like a distract. It's like you're distracting yourself with light and happiness and everything, and it's like you're avoiding the thorns. Like it's like you're avoiding your shadows. You're avoiding what is really needing to be changed. It's almost like the same thing. It's a mirror. It's the same thing. You got to allow a part of yourself to die. And again, I teach on this and what this means. We're like, what do you mean this part of me to die? Like, what does that mean exactly? Okay, so this is why I have 20 videos on this. It's 14 hours of coursework. Okay, so that's what they're telling me. You can take, again, I always say to everyone, take your own meaning on what this means to you. But what they're telling me is that almost like a distraction, like distracting yourself. But let's get more. That's not going to help you feel, just to pretend and say, oh yeah, my divine masculine is coming back. All I have to do is love life and just like be in the now. And no, there's way more to that. There's more to do. That's not sustainable. It'll last you maybe a few months, but then it all comes back because the divine feminine has to, we're the darkness, the divine feminine, and that is where we dive into the shadows. And that's where we learn the ancient knowledge, and that's where we learn. If we're just sitting in the light, it's not all learning there. There can be some learning, but not a whole lot of learning. Yeah, so we have, yeah, again, so Eight of Swords reverse. So it's almost like you're trying not to have this negative thinking and you're releasing this whole like, oh, woe is me, like this victim status, which is good. You're releasing that. And also we have the full reversed, which is not really taking a risk either. So it's like, so there's no activation here. And so as long as you're avoiding these inner wounds, as long as you're not focused on what like where this is coming from, okay, that's like you can't just avoid it and distract yourself. You have to do something about it, okay? And maybe some of you are, but for some of you, you got to take a risk. So the Fool is reversed and needs to be activated. But let's get more on this. What else do you want us to know? Let's grab this deck. What do you want us to know? What the divine feminine, what is blocking twin flame union? What is blocking twin flame union for the divine feminine? What is blocking twin flame union for divine feminine here? What is blocking twin flame union? One card. Storm Angel, collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, energy. Storm Angel. Whew, yeah. Well, it's kind of the same thing as this, right? It's kind of, again, so you have this collision, this storm of all this stuff raging around you, okay? And then instead of allowing this shakeup to take it down and allowing a new self to emerge, it's almost like you're in this big shakeup and you try to be like a more of a, well, let me distract myself over here so I don't notice the shakeup or chaos that's going on around me. Let me just pretend it's not happening. Let me just be in the light. I'm going to ignore my wounds. I'm going to ignore the mirror. I'm going to ignore the call, the awakening. I'm just going to keep saying that, oh, I surrender to whatever God wants, and my twin flame will come. There's a lot more to it. It's not just that. There's more to do than just that. Okay. So again, this is what I teach a course on. If you're interested. Okay. So Storm Angel. Collision of belief styles, attitudes, and energies. So that's what's going on, and you got to kind of let it happen to release, to kind of deal with the wounds, the shadows. Okay, So came out reversed. So, and I know you usually think, well, that's a good thing, and it is in some cases, but in this case, I asked what is blocking twin flame union. So in this case, it's not a good thing. So it's more of a distraction, is what I'm getting. So let's get a couple more cards here. I just want to, whether it's reversed or not, I'm going to say that this is a challenge. It doesn't matter if it's upright or reversed. This is something that both have to work on. Let's do the divine masculine first. So we're going to do 2 cards for the divine masculine and 2 cards for the divine feminine to see what else is blocking twin flame union. So let's do the divine masculine first. Divine masculine, 2 cards, whether it's upright or reversed. This is a challenge. This is it. This is what is blocking. Not necessarily a challenge. Just what is blocking twin flame union, right? What energies are blocking twin flame union? Because, you know, this is an energy update, right? This is what I do, energy updates. The twin flames are energy. That's what everyone is, energy. Okay, and there are things that are blocking the energy. So 2 cards for the divine masculine. This is a big deck, so that's why I wanted to shuffle it really well. Oh yeah, that was a good shuffle. Okay, 2 cards. 2 cards for the divine masculine. 2 cards. Okay, let's look at the divine masculine. So we have shapeshifter and we have divine child. So again, we're going to say this is what's blocking. So projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment, okay? Instead of navigating through levels of consciousness, instead of seeing the potential in everything and being a shapeshifter, okay? Instead of seeing everything at a different, like if you have like different perspectives, right? You have a perspective up here to say it's the one truth, and you have a perspective over here, and a perspective over here, and a perspective, and it's all correct. Instead, you're projecting an image that serves your own personal agenda. So let's just say it has to do with, who knows, something that's going on in the news, okay? And let's just say you have a very personal perspective that serves your only you, right? And don't get me wrong, I do the same thing. But let's just say it really is right for you, and what everyone else is doing is not right, okay? So let's just say what you feel what everyone else is doing is endangering you, okay? And so you're projecting what's only right for you on everyone else. And it's not true for them, right? They have their own lives. They're in their own boat. They have their own circumstances, right? So being a shapeshifter is able to see all sides of the situation. When you don't do that, you are actually shifting out of oneness with divinity, and that actually blocks twin flame union. Okay, projecting your own image that serves your own personal agenda. So that is for the divine masculine. We also have an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. So that's very interesting. So they call this the child divine. So the challenge, or I should say, what's blocking twin flame union is that you're not really having a special connection with the divine, okay? Instead, you are just kind of like living life, you know, you're not really talking to your soul, you're not really communicating with your soul, kind of doing your own thing, and you know, and then and instead you're attracting more of those negative forces. You're too much in the dark. Of course, the goal is to be gray, not too light, not too dark, but in the middle. Okay, because if you're all one, you got to have everything. But here with the divine masculine, it's like you're too much in the dark and you're not having really that communication with the divine. That is blocking twin flame union. Let's look at the divine feminine side. Let's look what is blocking twin flame union for the divine feminine. 2 cards. 2 cards. That was a good shuffle. Thank you. One more. One more. 2 cards for divine feminine on what is blocking twin flame union. What is blocking? All right, so here's what's blocking. First one we got is the Messiah card. Okay, so the shadow attribute is exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. It's almost like being the martyr, right? It's like you're the martyr. You think that, hey, the only way this is going to happen is through me. I'm the only one doing the work. Okay. Um, like if it's almost like, when you go to work and people think that, oh, like nothing can function with, and they kind of micromanage. It's like nothing can happen without me, or don't do this without consulting me, or sometimes even feeling like a martyr, feeling like, oh, without me doing all the work, nothing's going to happen, right? I've been in this situation as well, so I totally get it. Anyway, but this thought process is blocking twin flame union. Instead, it's having faith that your twin flame is actually doing all the work. What was weird for me is that I thought that I was the one that awakened first. It turns out my twin flame awakened before me and was waiting on me. And I do teach that in my course, by the way. So yeah, when you think you're the one that is awakening first, wait until you hear what really is going on. Yeah, your twin flame might be the one that's awakening first, and they might be waiting on you as the counterpart. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but yeah, I teach that in my course. So that would be blocking twin flame union also, because it's an energy, right? It's an energy shift, knowing, having faith in your twin flame that they are awakened or awakening on their own, and that they're probably waiting on you to awaken. That's a energy shift, another perspective. The other one is mediator, negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Whew. Okay, instead of respect for both sides of an argument. Boy, do I see a theme here, right? Oh my God, this is huge for these days, though, right? It's like instead of having respect for both sides of a perspective, right? We have the one truth, no matter what it is, and there's like, I don't know, 7 billion perspectives on that one truth, right? So, what's blocking twin flame union, which is about oneness, by the way, is having that ulterior motive or hidden agenda to make sure that you're negotiating, that it really is just that it serves you, right? It doesn't serve everyone, right? Instead of negotiating fairness for everyone and having respect for everyone, it's like having that what's going to serve me type thing, right? And like, what can you do to make me feel safe? What can you do to make me feel better? What can you do to help me and just me, and don't care about you? It's just like no respect for what you're doing, because what you're doing is totally wrong and it's hurting me. So it's like that type of thought process is actually blocking twin flame union, because twin flame union is all about unity and oneness. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get some messages. Let's get some messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. Two cards. Two cards from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, please. Two cards. What does the divine masculine want the divine feminine to know? All right, divine masculine. Woo! My heart is telling me just do it. I love it. My heart is telling me just do it. And the second one is, but would you reject me? So their heart wants to reach out, but here's the thing: your twin flame, if you identify as a one particular twin flame, like for instance, I always identified as the divine feminine. Divine feminine is the one that awakens first, when actuality I was a divine masculine. And so this makes sense that my divine counterpart would feel this way about feeling rejected, because, well, they were waiting on me to awaken. I did not awaken first. Okay. So, and again, what we don't realize, that what we're doing is actually blocking union. We don't even realize. So that is what the divine masculine wants the divine feminine to know. What does the divine feminine want the divine masculine to know? Two cards. What does the divine feminine want the divine masculine to know? Woo, you still take my breath away. And of course, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I totally relate. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. It's a lot of work. There's a lot to do here. Yes. Oh my goodness. Woo. Being a storm angel with all these collisions of beliefs, all these collisions of styles, attitudes, energies, How do I deal with it all? How do I become one with all of it? How? I don't know if I'm cut out for this. This is what the twin flame journey is. It's about oneness. So again, if you need help with this, check out my course below. This is what I teach on how to embody oneness. This is how you unblock twin flame union. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. And also, thank you to all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.